In this video, we will be learning how to use the to infinitive. What is the to infinitive? The infinitive is the form of the verb that doesn't change to indicate person, number, or time. We form the simple form of the to infinitive by adding a to before the base form of a verb. For example, the to infinitive of the verb read is to read. The to infinitive has an active form and a passive form. The example here is the active form. How about the passive form? The simple to infinitive in the passive form consists of to be and the past participle of the verb. So, the passive to infinitive of to publish would be to be published. In addition to the simple form, there's also the perfect form. We use the perfect form when the infinitive shows an action taking place before that of the main verb. It is formed by combining to have with the past participle form of the verb. Therefore, in the sentence, "I think it is good to have read the book," we know that thinking it is good comes after the action of reading the book. Like the simple form, the perfect form also has an active form and a passive form. The passive form is formed by adding to have been to the past participle of the verb. We can see it in action in the sentence on the screen now. Once again, the action of owning the book comes before the action of believing, which is why we use the perfect form of the to infinitive. In addition to the simple and perfect forms, there are also the continuous and the perfect continuous forms. The continuous form is made up of to be and the ing form of a verb. Let's take a look at the example sentence. Sally appears to be reading. We use the continuous form when the infinitive shows an ongoing action taking place at the same time as the action of the main verb. It does not have a passive form. The perfect continuous form is formed using to have been and the ing form of the verb. Let's take a look at an example on the screen. We use the perfect continuous form when the infinitive shows an ongoing action which takes place before the main verb. Like the continuous form, the perfect continuous form does not have a passive form. Now that we have covered the different forms of the to infinitive, let's take a closer look at how we use it. A common way to use the to infinitive is as the subject of a sentence. For example, here, to read is the subject in the sentence, "To read is educational." We can also use the to infinitive after a noun or adjective. For example, we can use the to infinitive after the adjective relaxing, like in the example sentence. This sentence tells us that the action of listening to music is relaxing. The to infinitive can also be used after specific verbs. For example, want, plan, decide, and many others. For example, in the sentence, "They plan to move to their new home next month," a to infinitive is used after the verb plan. We can also use the to infinitive with question words. Let's take the example, "I don't know what to do." The to infinitive to do is used after the question word what. The to infinitive can also be used as an adverbial to show the purpose of an action, the result of an action, or something that occurred after the action. Let's take a look at the example sentence. Maureen called to tell us the good news. This sentence tells us that the purpose of Maureen calling was to share good news. Using the to-infinitive in this way allows us to give the reader more information about the action. Now that we have covered how and why we use the to-infinitive, let's practice reading. Can you identify the to-infinitives in the following passage? Here are the answers: to walk, to vote, and to convert. Did you get them right? Let's practice listening. Question 1. Listen to sentences A and B and decide which sentence uses a to-infinitive. A. Don't play in the rain, Mrs. Wong said to Ted. B. Mrs. Wong told Ted not to play in the rain. The answer is B. Mrs. Wong told Ted not to play in the rain. Question 2. Listen to sentences C and D and decide which sentence uses a to-infinitive. C. The situation appears to be getting out of control. D. The situation is getting out of control. The answer is C. The situation appears to be getting out of control. Now let's practice writing. Complete the sentences below using to-infinitives and the words given in brackets. The answers are now on the screen. The first answer is, reminded her son to take, while the second answer is, careless of her to have lost. As the action of losing the wallet took place before this observation was made, the perfect form is used. After writing, let's have some speaking practice. Answer the following questions out loud using the to-infinitive. Question 1. What do you like to do for fun? Question 2. Do you think getting a good night's sleep is important? Question 3. What TV shows do you like?